Alright guys, we're going to jump right into this one. I'm going to do a quick review of my Crescent 180 piece tool set. If you're coming over from the main channel, I did a big review about all the tools I use when I do my framing jobs. If you didn't see that, go check it out. But at the end, I addressed this and said I was going to do this review on this channel, and now here we are. Now I've had this tool set for at least 15 years. I originally picked it up after I had borrowed the exact same thing from my father-in-law when I was doing some four-wheeling out of town and I didn't have a mechanic set yet. In the 15 years of use and abuse, one complaint is the blow molded case. It's lost 3 of its 4 tabs. This is the only one that it's got left here. And this is on me. I have lost 1 adapter. Other than that, the tool set is completely intact, which is pretty good for me because, you know, I tend to break things, damage things, and lose things. So let me bring you in here and do a quick once-over on this. Alright, harnessing the power of Cody's electron microscope. Let's dive right in. We'll start with the wrenches. These are box and open end. We've got metric, 8mm, 10mm, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Standard, we've got 5/8, 9/16, 1/2, 7/16, 3/8, and 5/16. They're all pretty good wrenches. They are 12-point instead of 6-point. It makes it a little more universal, which makes sense for it being a kit like this. Alright, the ratchets. We have 1/2, 3/8, and 1/4 drive. Now the new kit that they sell now has taken out the 1/2-inch drive and replaced it with a Crescent wrench. I'm a little disappointed in that because I like the 1/2-inch drive. It gives you a lot more expanded use for everything you've got here. Now, would I take a lug nut off with this thing? No, but it's nice to move other things around when you got to get some leverage on them. The ratchets now say they have a 5-degree swing, I believe. I would guess that these are also 5-degree swing because they don't have a lot of movement to get the ratchet to engage, which is nice if you're in a tight spot. They are pretty robust. I've never had any problem with any of them. Crescent seems to make some pretty good ratchets. They have the button on the back. Locks your socket on there. You won't have to worry about it falling off. Hit the button, pull it right back off. So we have ratchets in 1/2, 3/8, 1/4. If you can find an older set like this at a yard sale or something, I'd say pick it up. If you want the newer one, you could augment with a 1/2-inch ratchet of your own, but keep in mind the new ones do not come with this. They give you lots of extensions here. We have a 1/2-inch drive, 5-inch extension, 3/8 drive, 6-inch extension, 3/8 drive, 3-inch extension, so that would give you 9 inches if you really needed it, and then you could couple things together and get more. And 1/4 drive, 3-inch extension. Coming up here, we got spark plug sockets. We've got a 13/16 and a 5/8, and we do have an adapter for 3/8 down to 1/4, which basically lets you use every size socket that you have. The rest of the sockets, now we have some of these that are doubles because they are 1/2 and 3/8 drive or 3/8 and 1/4 drive. We have deep well, 17mm, 15mm, 14, 13, 12. Shallows, we actually have a 21mm, which is nice, and a 19, so that is also 3/4. You couple that with the 3/4, you've got a couple 3/4s that's nice to have. 18mm, 17, 15, and we have another 19, 17, 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 9, bounce back up to 13 for some reason, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4. I don't think I've ever used that 4. The only 4 I've ever done, I think, is a spoke on a dirt bike, and that was with a wrench. So you do have some duplicates in there. I do believe some of them are 6 points, so that makes it kind of nice to have sockets that bite a little better. Deep well in the SAE, we have 7/16, 1/2, 9/16, 11/16, and 3/4. That would be like your lug nuts on a car, although I wouldn't recommend using the ratchet to do that. I have put this on a breaker bar and used it, and it has worked out well. Shallow well, we have 1/2, 9/16, 5/8, 3/4, 7/8. 1/2, 9/16, 5/8, 11/16, and 3/4. 7/16, 1/2, 9/16, 5/16, 3/8, 7/16, and if I can see this one, 3/16, 7/32, 1/4, 9/32, 5/16, 11/32, and 3/8. So you've probably got a few in there that you're never really going to use, but it's a good standard set. And I will show you a tip on how to make it even a little more usable in the field. So I'll come back over here to this side, and we have 8-inch long needle nose pliers. They come in pretty handy. You've got all of the Allen keys. You have metric and SAE, all the Allen keys you'll ever want or not want. Those things are kind of a pain to use, but you've got them. So coming over to this side, we've got 6-inch diagonal pliers, side cuts, maybe they're called, I think. All of the Torx, hex, and then slotted and Phillips bits that you would ever need. This driver has a little magnet in the end, so it is a magnetic holder, which makes it very nice. You can use all of these, then you can use the adapter, and you can go to 1/4-inch drive sockets and use it that way. That's fantastic. We have a, let's see, a 3-inch and a 4-inch slotted screwdriver, and we have a 3 and a 4 Phillips. These are great when I use them on the job site. This is what I use mostly when I am putting in door handles. It's nice to have the couple different lengths of screwdrivers. Now, a couple things I have done to augment this, because we only have a 3/8 to 1/4 step down adapter, I got a 3/8 to 1/2 step up and a 1/2 to 3/8 step down. So I can use any of these sockets on any of these ratchets in here, and I also put in an 18, this is actually snap-on. That's pretty classy. I acquired that probably from my father-in-law. I got an 18mm spark plug socket because this is what I used for my 4-wheeler and my dirt bike. So I threw that in there. I had a couple extra bits that I threw in there. A T25, always have a bunch of these. I like to keep them around because I use those in my driver when I'm using screws at work all the time. Also, I got a, what do I have here? A 3/4 wrench, because they do not give you a 3/4 in here. And an 11/16. That makes stuff a lot more usable if you're trying to take something apart where you need to put a wrench on one side. You can get the ratchet on the other side. It didn't give you a 3/4 wrench, so I have several extras, and I was able to throw one in here. And here is a hex key that I made when I had to access the rear differential of my truck, and I didn't have one big enough, so I kind of ground the head of a bolt down a little bit, welded a nut on that thing so I can pop the fill hole off of the rear differential so I can check the fluids. So that goes in there too, and this all closes up with everything in here. I'll show you that. Some things fall out. We leave it closed, we don't look at it. Again, I only have one tab on here. So I drop everything down, carry myself a little bungee it back together. So there you go, gang. I hope you found this useful. I'll put a link down in the description where you can pick one of these up on Amazon through an affiliate link. Help the channel out. I would appreciate that. Just keep in mind that the new ones do not have the 1/2-inch drive ratchet and have a crescent wrench instead. There may be some other changes in it, but when I looked it over, that was the major thing. This is my everyday toolkit I keep in my truck. I take with me everywhere, and I use it all the time. I highly recommend having one of these to keep in your truck or even in your car. I usually take this with me when we go on road trips in case I've got to do a quick repair. It has come in handy before on cars when we're out doing some road tripping stuff, so you know, you can never be too prepared. Or even have one in your house so you don't have to go out to the garage and get tools every time you got to work on something in the house, because let's all face it, your wife's asking you to do stuff all the time. So that's it for this quick review, and I will see you guys in the next video.